Okay, cool. Awesome. Live stream number 2. Way to go, everybody. Alright, guys. Let me turn the comments on this time around on the computer again. It's okay. Things happen. You gotta roll with it. Technical difficulties. I don't know why it does that. If I get a call while I am live streaming, the screen now goes black, which is really just incredibly stupid. I don't know why it started doing that, but whatever. Okay. Hold on. Dude, it's a conspiracy. I am being sabotaged, I think. All right. Tony Gile says back for part 2. Okay, so we're back. Let's get some questions up in here. Chris Ortiz says, Lashana Tova, thank you so much. Happy New Year to everybody. Felipe Garcia says, how are you doing? I'm doing well, dude. We're just, favorite day of the week, Saturday. We got a live stream. Roll with the punches and bounce through the glitches. That's what it's all about. Adele just got their Reverso. Which one'd you get? Reverso is my favorite watch in my collection, probably. Rick Green, certified T3 bot. Speaking of the Reverso, what's up, T3 Nation? Having a great day shopping, taking some time out to watch the channel. Nick Houndstein says, Shana Tova. Nick, Happy New Year. For anybody wondering why I keep saying that, it's because it's Jewish New Year today. So, Happy New Year to everybody. Cody says, aloha from Honolulu. Hope you're doing safe and well. I got mad love for Honolulu. I think I've been to Hawaii like 8 times or something. Hawaii rules. Akil says, hey, where are you from? America, baby. These colors don't run. Leo says, Jory, meant to ask if you would review my Bulova Royal Oak. Yeah, send it over. Let's say, that seems to be a highly coveted watch. Robert says, aloha, brother. Andy Yee says, hello, mate. From London, England. Oh, excuse me. Hello. Cheerio. Howdy from Cape Town, South Africa. Man, we don't have a lot of South African viewers, actually. We have a ton from UK, a ton from Singapore, actually. South Africa, you're representing. Can you tell me what's the most expensive watch in the world? I don't know, probably something stupid from like Jacob & Co. or something. Do you have anything against the current Explorer 1? So the most recent Explorer 1 is too big. Oyster cases were larger than they list on paper, and the fact that they made a field watch that wears as large as they made it, it's just a bit too, yeah. That's what I have against it, but other than that, it's probably one of their better watches, in my opinion. Adam Bourne says, who sleeps with a watch on? Not me. Psychopaths. I don't know why you'd need to sleep with your watch on. I don't. I'm kidding, though. I think a lot of people do, but I definitely don't. Watches Guy says, hey, save the face, don't hit the face. Just received Invicta Pro Diver as a gift from a non-watch friend as a free gift. Kind of not hate it that much. Forgive me, people. I have a lot of channel members that wear Invictas all day long and they really enjoy them. So the cool thing about this channel is that you're allowed to like things that other people don't like. You're allowed to have opinions that other people don't necessarily have, and it's fine. So forget about it. What do I think about the titanium Seiko SGG731P1? Let's go ahead and take a look at that because I don't know the reference number off the top of my head. But let's take a look. Looks boring. Sapphire titanium, 100-meter water resistance rating. The specs are actually quite good, though. Oh, you can find them very cheap online. Yeah, it's a whole lot of watch. It looks kind of boring. I probably wouldn't wear it just because it looks not like something I would wear, but the specs look really, really nice. Watch check. Are we there? Oh, we're over 100 people. Where are my moderators? Speaking of understated watches, This was running today. Felt like wearing it. Rolex, reference number 1500 date, on a Man Cave leather strap. Shout out to Man Cave Leather for supplying me with my favorite leather straps. That's what I'm wearing. What are you guys wearing? Every time we hit 100 people on the live stream, we do a wristwatch check just to check in. So what are you guys wearing? Let me know in the comment section. Adele says hello and Happy New Year from Kuwait. What is going on, Kuwait? Trogman, what's my favorite Orient watch? Probably the Defender, if I'm totally honest. A close second would be the Triton. I've worn one of my buddy's Tritons, and it's really, really cool. But currently, the Defender, because I personally own one, and I really like it. Hubaloo says, hello from the Philippines. Have you checked out any Filipino watches? I don't know of any Filipino watches, but you know what I do check out? Filipino food. Jollibee's like one of my favorite bad foods. Mike Calucci on Certified T3 Bot is wearing his Bucaro Monero John Wick on a Man Cave leather strap. My dad has that watch. I got it for my dad. He loves that watch. Reading comments. Do I know of any India watches? I know that there are watches from India because I have actually a fairly large demographic from there, and they always ask me about their watches, but they're not very prevalent in the US, so I don't know much about them, unfortunately. Andy's wearing an IWC Big Pilot. That's badass, dude. Big fan. What do I think of the Frederic Constant High Life collection? I think that Frederic Constant was messing up for a little while in the last 2 years. I think that they were kind of in a lull and they weren't doing very well. And then with this High Life collection, I think they knocked it out the park. Dude, I saw it all over. I saw all the media photos and stuff, and I was like, dang. These are watches that I personally would like to collect. So I think they did a very good job. That High Life collection from Frederic Constant, incredible. Great job. I urge you guys to check them out. Again, Frederic Constant was a company that at the beginning of my channel I really loved. And then for 2 years there was like a lull. They were doing like a really bad job. And then recently, that High Life collection just crushed it. Have I settled on any Neo Tokyos? I own all 3 of the ones that came out in the United States. Let me link you to that episode. Give me one moment. Stand by. Where is that episode, actually? I know I did it, because I remember filming it. Where'd you go? Oh, found you. Alright, so I did settle on a Neo Tokyo, because I have all 3. Because in the US, we got 3 of them. Boom. If you want to see some of my favorite G-Shocks, click that link and watch that review. Have I meant a favorite? I haven't settled on a favorite yet, but I've been rotating through all of them. I'm kind of getting to know each one, and then I'm going to do a review for each. How long have I been growing the beard? Get this question a lot. Essentially, I did a summer program when I was a junior in high school. I was living at Berkeley Music. It's a music conservatory. And I didn't bring a razor. And I started shaving when I was like in 6th grade because I had that stupid like awkward mustache, and I was like growing hair on my cheeks, and it was just like gross. And then come junior year of high school, that summer, I didn't bring a razor, and it was like a 2-week program or something. And I had like full stubble at that point, and I really enjoyed it. And so, yeah, I just kept the beard. It's been on and off though since then. Like my mom would make me shave when I was in high school. But this exact beard, I haven't trimmed it in like 4 months. So, and it's like pretty long. So, yeah, this is like 4 months, I think, without trimming it. Or 3. I think it might be 3. Lord Elgin with the super chat says, is Par Weber a one-off or the future of Loom? Well, they have a patent on it, I believe. So I don't know if it's the future. I mean, it's clearly a new it's clearly a new innovation and a new introduction of technology that could happen. But it's not something that I think all other companies will move towards. I don't think that it's that. We'll see. You know what I'm more interested in? I'm more interested to see what new models they choose to utilize that technology in. I know that some people were not interested in the look of that specific model. But the cool thing about that technology is they can actually transpose that and utilize that. Like, I would like to see that in a field watch. If they could put that in a flat, thin field watch, I think it'd be very interesting. We'll see. When am I going to cover Bucher watches? Well, I reviewed the Carl F. Bucher. Adele says, man, I love how you are so honest and spontaneous. You gotta be that way these days. On the fly. Thank you for the love, though. Appreciate it. Hey, is the Bull of a Lunar Pilot too big? Yes. Unfortunately, the one critique I have of that Bull of a Lunar Pilot, which I think honestly is probably one of Bulova's best current watches, I think they made a mistake upsizing it. They should have kept it at the smaller original size. But with Bulova, owned by I think Citizen now, everything's bigger and better. Their precisionist watches are huge. Everything they make is huge. So they upsized the Bull of a Lunar Pilot, and I think that it was a big mistake. Thoughts on the new colored Rolexes, future classic or overpriced Casio ripoff? I don't understand the Casio ripoff. I don't think it's that. I do think it's disgusting. I think those colored dials are disgusting and ugly. But what you need to understand is they were doing that in the 70s. Rolex was doing colored dials back in the 70s. So this is kind of a reissue, a retake on something they've been doing for a long time. I don't know how Casio comes into that equation. I think that that's an inaccurate comparison or accusation. I think that the old ones were ugly, and I think that these new ones are very ugly. So, yeah. Any favorite Citizen Eco Drive divers that catch your eye? Not any of the divers, but probably the Nighthawk. That's a pilot's watch, though. Just Stark, am I friendly with any other watch YouTubers? Yeah. Jody from Just One More Watch is a great guy. Adrian from Bark and Jack is a great guy. Federico Talks Watch is a great guy. Marco from Swiss Watch Gang is a great guy. Teddy Baltazar is a great guy. Those are like the only people I've interacted with. It doesn't mean that I don't think the other people are great guys, but I don't gossip. I'm not a 12-year-old girl, so I don't really gossip. If you're looking for gossip, I don't have any, but the people that I have interacted with are all very, very nice. Rex says, do you know if Phoebus will make more watches any soon? I want a specific model with a red dial. I don't know. Do I have a YouTube award? Yep. I did a full unboxing of it. Actually, I have it on a shelf here. Still haven't hung it up yet. I do. How is the new Seiko Presage Cocktail Time old clock? I don't understand that question. How is the new Seiko Presage Cocktail Time old clock? If you can help me out with that question, I'd be happy to answer it because I'm very, very interested in the Seiko cocktail times. So if you can help me about that question, I will absolutely answer it. Chi-Town, California, certified teeth about Jory. Are you more proud of your YouTube plaque or your Reverso? I'm not really proud of any of my watches. They're things I like, but but they're still just things. You know what I mean? I think that I don't really care about getting the award either. I suppose what I'm most proud about is being able to cultivate and curate other collectors that feel just as passionate as me. And so if anything, the plaque signifies something that I'm much more proud of, because the channel has, the content I make is fine, it's fun. The views I get, yes, that makes me happy, but more so what makes me happy is the interaction with a bunch of people that are very diverse, different walks of life, different opinions, and we can all come together and hang out just because we happen to have the same interest. And you know what's even actually cooler than that is I get a lot of other people that comment that let me know that they don't even really care about watches, but they still want to hang out within this channel because it's just a fun place to be. That's what makes me really, really happy, actually. So the Reverso, yes, it's a statement like, oh, I got a huge grail that I always wanted. It's my 30th birthday present. I did it. That makes me happy. And YouTube giving me an award, it's like, okay, cool, I guess. But the channel itself, I think, is the big reward. So, a little bit of a twist. M. Night Shyamalan. Hey, okay, watch this guy. Sorry, I was trying to find, there was an interesting comment. And I'm trying to find it again. Here it is. Kian says, I'm going to buy a used Hamilton Jazzmaster. Do you know of any fakes or anything I should keep an eye out for? I don't know of any fakes when it comes to the Jazzmaster line. That doesn't mean they don't exist. So what you should look out for is the specific, you should learn and know everything about the specific Jazzmaster you're looking for. That's what you should know. I can't tell you of a specific marking or here or there because in the counterfeit market, there's too many variables, okay? So you need to, what I tell everybody is before you buy a watch, you need to know everything about that. Do your research before you spend the money, and then that way you can ensure you don't get burned. Is there a large counterfeit Hamilton market? No, thankfully, there isn't. Doesn't mean they don't exist. So instead of telling you what to look out for as far as fakes go, look out for things you do know. Try to learn as much as possible about the specific watch before you buy it. HYT watches, I don't know anything about, guys. If you keep spamming about that company, I don't know what to tell you. These companies from India, I don't know about. And they don't have a market here in the US, so it's hard for me to get my hands on them. I wish I had an answer for you. But Vidura, stop spamming the comment section about it. I'm trying to help. By the way, earthquake yesterday in California, and it was gnarly. I see people talking about it. Adam H., moderator and certified teeth robot, says, everything I wish I knew before buying a vintage watch. That might help you guys out if you want to watch that. Cast Irony says, I got a pole router, an absolute steal, so cheap you'd think it's fake. It's not, however. Well, congratulations. I really like that watch. Probably one of Universal Geneve's best watches. Unnamed user says, greetings from España. Chi-Town, California, certified teeth robot says, in-house movements don't guarantee value retention. JLCs, VCs, and Panerais are in-house. They don't hold their value well. Well, you're right and you're wrong. The overall statement is correct, but JLC actually does have JLC has probably one of the top 5 value retention characteristics. And I actually just did an episode evaluating that. So you're right about, Vacheron has about a 50%, actually it's about 53% value retention in general, average pre-owned. Panerai absolutely tanks. Panerai does terribly, But JLC is actually up there with Patek and Rolex. So you're semi-right. All you have to do is look at pre-owned reversos and you'll realize that it's very difficult to get the price down on them. William Lee says, tried to contact you the past few weeks through email and Instagram. Send an email, info@thetimetellershop.com. I don't know to which you are referring. What you guys need to know is I get over 100 messages a day through all my social media. I get over 100 messages a day. I'm trying to help each and every one of you. Email info@thetimetellershop.com. Italo says, greetings from Brazil. What's your opinion about Citizen watches? Are they worse than Seiko? Generally speaking, yeah, probably they are worse than Seiko, but that doesn't mean they're bad. It just means Seiko's probably a little better. I'm just not a big Citizen guy. Their watches are too big, too busy, or just boring. Doesn't mean they're not good. Nighthawk is incredible. The Citizen Eco Drive Tough, really cool watch. Yeah, that's kind of all I know. I know some people that are huge Citizen fanboys will be like, how dare you? But that's just, it is what it is. Let me take a look. Hold on. JJ Bordeaux says, what do you think of the Casio DW291V? We're going to take a look because I'm not familiar with that specific reference number, so let me take a look. Oh yeah, this is actually a really cool watch. It's kind of like if a DW6600 and a DW5600 had a baby, this would be it. I think it's actually a really cool case design. And I think Tom Cruise wore it in Mission Impossible. So I think it's actually one of the Mission Impossible watches. So that's cool. Hey Jory, Ritmo Mundo watches are worth or not? I've never heard of them. So probably not. They're probably not worth much. What's my current Grail watch? Creator Aichi 2 and a Rolex 6062. Steven says, I know you'll probably hate me, but I really want the new Sea Dweller 43. I don't hate you. I think that's a cool watch. I just want you guys to know, I can probably pull off the larger Rolexes. I understand that people can pull them off. I'm not saying they're gargantuan. What I'm saying is I personally just prefer the smaller ones. That's perfectly fine. Dude, the two-tone Sea Dweller is really cool. That's actually a watch that I mentioned that probably, I think 3 months ago I made an episode talking about how that two-tone Sea Dweller is really cool and I would wear it. And people got upset because they're like, you said you don't like the big ones. Yeah, I don't in general. I prefer the smaller ones, but if I see a cool one, I'm gonna be honest. What, you think do I need to lie to you guys to tell you that no. I like the ones I like. That's just what it is. Briar Blues, certified, T3, bot. How about Citizen Kane? Oh man, if I open up that can of worms, people are going to be arguing cinema. That is the best piece of cinema as far as I'm concerned because my liberal arts professor told me, and whatever my liberal arts professor tells me is the gospel because I've been indoctrinated. Is 42 millimeters too big for my 7.5-inch wrist? Probably not. I have a 7.5-inch wrist. I have watches that are bigger than that, and I think you'll be able to pull it off. I just prefer that 40 millimeter sweet spot. T-Bone Stallone, very cool name, dude. Really cool name. It says, what's up, T3? in a watch funk. How can I snap out of it? Snap out of it! There you go, buddy. First one's free. Unknown user says, "Hey Jory, what do you think of the limited edition Seiko Street Fighter watches?" So I was very excited they made them, but I'm very disappointed they made them with that stupid Seiko 5KX. That is a terrible watch, but I'm very excited they made them because I absolutely love Street Fighter. Proof of that is right here behind my great-grandfather's World War II holster. There is a Street Fighter G.I. Joe from the 90s in box, and it's Guile. I don't know if you can see that, but right there is a Street Fighter G.I. Joe Capcom, what do you call it? Collaboration, excuse me, in box, and it's Guile. So, very, very cool. Whoa, Chad! TKD, where have you been, dude? Long time. Michael Powell, you want to argue cinema, Wyatt Earp, or Tombstone? I'm your Huckleberry. Roar of the Tiger says, "Hey, Jory, I'm tardy. You get a tardy slip." Why did you not do a review of the Casio? Because it's boring and everyone else had one. Everyone else did a review. Everyone else had one. And guess what? Just because it's the cool thing doesn't mean I'm interested in it. You should know that by now. When people go right, I go crazy. Mickey from Indonesia says, "GBU always." Don't know what you mean by that, but what's going on? Ralph says, "What's your opinion on the Rolex Datejust 41? Too big for that watch. They should not have. Created that. Why does a Datejust need to be that big? I just don't get it. A Datejust was supposed to be a small, understated, sporty watch. It wasn't supposed to be enormous. It sucks to see Rolex trying to compete with what other companies are doing. They see the Royal Oak and the Nautilus being very popular, so they think they need to upsize their watches to have that wrist presence, and it's really stupid. Proof positive. Rolex Date 1500. This is how a watch should wear. The lugs should not encompass your watch. The lugs should not encompass your wrist. The lugs should end. You should see some of the strap over your wrist. And that's how a watch should wear. If the watch's lugs are hanging on both sides of your wrist, that is too big in my opinion, and it does not look good. That's my opinion though. There's no rules. I'm not telling you that as a rule. I'm telling you that as like a guideline I have for myself. Dude, Adam H is busting heads in the chat. That's his job, dude. He's a moderator. I think Bryson, I promoted him as a moderator in the first live stream, and then when the live stream got hung up and we had to restart it, he just dipped out. He's like, "I can't handle this." Do I have a Seiko King Turtle? No, I don't. May contain bleach certified T3 Watt says that watch looks great on your wrist. Thank you so much, man. That's why probably this is literally one of my favorite watches in my collection. Enormous. Enormous love for this watch. Enormous love for this watch. And it's probably one of the most simple watches in my collection. Oh, Bryson is here. So guys, you best be on your best behavior because I have two moderators here. Also, they're the dudes I rely upon in Warzone. So not only do they have my back here on the channel, they have my back in the Warzone. Bryson and Adam gets like random clutch kills in Warzone too, so it's super helpful. I think Adam's revived me like 1,000 times by now. Do I watch soccer? No. I'm American, dude. I don't even know how that game works. Date magnifier, yes or no? Yes. I personally love the magnifier. I think it's very stereotypical Rolex. It's something I like, but I understand that people really don't like it, and that's perfectly fine. Different strokes for different folks. Have I tried the Black Ops Alpha yet? I have not. Not yet. I've been playing Warzone predominantly, and then I've been playing some multiplayer again, just so I could unlock the Gold Fennec, and I just unlocked the Gold Fennec last night. So my character is running around with a Gold Fennec. I've never seen anyone else have it, but I have it because I just unlocked it. Reading comments. Lord Elgin, Certified T3 Bot says, no soccer and no metric system. Amen, brother, because guess what? Every other country uses the metric system, except for America, which has been to the moon. Sorry. David O, which Yema watch this guy with the super chat in Hebrew. Shana Tova. Shana Tova. He's wishing me a happy new year. Watch this guy. It's so funny because I know that he's not Jewish, but Shana Tova. Thank you. I appreciate that. It is Jewish New Year. iPhone or iPad? I have both, but I use my iPhone more. That's just the truth. Xbox or PlayStation? PlayStation. I've always been a PlayStation guy, let's be honest. What Yema is in the thumbnail? It's my Yema speed graph. So a few weeks ago, I mentioned on this live stream that I really liked that Yema is trying to bring back their company. You know, Yema is a company with a very rich history with their vintage watches. And I like that they're kind of doing a push to come back in the forefront of watchmaking. And I think a few weeks ago, probably 3 weeks ago, I mentioned that I personally am going to buy a Yema speed graph. It's an automatic chronograph from France. They sourced a Seiko automatic chronograph movement, has a 100 meter water resistance rating, a sapphire box crystal, bidirectional rotating bezel. The finishing looked great, and I was very interested. A dual register clean chronograph. And then they emailed me and they're like, hey, here's a tracking number, we're sending it to your P.O. box. And I was like, what? So they gifted me it, and that's a picture I took of mine. And so they essentially gave me a watch I was already going to buy. So joke's on them. But I really appreciate it, and I'm going to review it. So they're really nice people over there at Yema, and I really do appreciate it. What's the map behind me? This is California, and this is Boston. And it this was very deliberate because I was born in California. I was born in Santa Monica. And then I grew up in New England, and then I moved back here, and that's where I am now. Hey Jory, do you play any Nintendo games? If so, how about the new Super Mario 3D All-Star? So I do play a lot of Nintendo. Well, I don't really have time to play any games. I just want to be clear. But I do really love Nintendo. I own a Switch. I own an N64. I own an SNES. I own an NES. I own a Game Boy Advance, a Game Boy Color, a Game Boy 3DS. So I own a lot of Nintendo stuff. I don't have much time to play anymore. But I'm going to pick up the new Super Mario collection that they just released because I love those games. It reminds me of playing those games with my sister when I was little, so on N64. Oh, wait, I'm so confused. Hold on. If you could only have one watch and just one, and you have to pick between Rolex or Grand Seiko, which do you pick? And then Cast Irony says, I bet he picks Rolex. Well, this is a bit of a flawed hypothetical because you're saying I can only pick one watch, but the parameters are quite slim. So between so really what you're asking me is which would I choose, Rolex, Grand Seiko? That's really what the question is. It's not if I could only pick one watch. You're saying which company would I choose? Well, Grand Seiko is much more innovative, and I've actually made an episode about why Grand Seiko is better than Rolex. Grand Seiko makes better watches than Rolex, period. So to clear that up, cast irony and rock and rolla, like the Time Teller channel, you can quote this statement: Grand Seiko makes better watches than Rolex, period. Personally, if I'm to use your hypothetical and I can only pick one watch for the rest of my life, it's going to be this watch. And this watch happens to be a Rolex. So, no, you're right. That's what I'm getting at, is cast irony is right. He's actually correct. I am picking Rolex. And it's because in his assessment, I'm so sorry about my hair, guys, by the way. He's correct that I do think that Grand Seiko makes better watches than Rolex, but if I'm only going to pick one watch, it's going to be this watch, and this is a Rolex. And so, like, for instance, I own the Grand Seiko J1470, but this watch I can wear every day. I can take it into Santa Monica with the beach air and the water. If it starts to rain, I can still have this watch on my wrist. It has the oyster case with the threaded crown. With my Grand Seiko, it's just too fragile. You know, I can't do that. The humidity would probably mess it up. Lord Elgin with the play-by-play of that question. I actually really appreciate that. Cody says, how's your STI holding up? Still running like a champ? Amen. Still running like an absolute champ. For those of you who have been following me for a while on social media, you know that I did a fully track-built 370Z. And it was a big mistake because the car ran so hot that in this climate where I live, it did, like, the second that I would... And I had it fully tuned and everything with, like, racing, like, full cooling system, everything upgraded. But where I live, it got so hot that with that engine, come summer, the second I would start it up, the knock sensors would just go off like crazy. And so I was worried when I got the STI because I was like, I hope that it can handle this, because it's not, like, I don't even live in Texas or Arizona or something. I live in LA, and it doesn't even get that hot. But for that, like, the build I did with the 370 couldn't handle it. So I was like, for this STI, it better be okay. And sure enough, like, I can run AC full blast and everything, and there's no knock sensor going off. So, yeah, very, very happy about that. LSAP, Certified Teeth Rock, says, can you check out the Quorum Bubble Magical 52 Animal Watch? No, because Quorum is the worst watch ever. Ralph says, it's 1 a.m. here in India. Gotta sleep. Good night, Jory. Have a good one, dude. Thank you for stopping by. And thanks for showing love from India. I appreciate that. Jory, please show me your red die-cast car that's behind you. Where is it? I'm like a weatherman. This right here is a GT3 RS, the 4.0. Linky! Come here, bud. Link's here. Hey, Jory, what are your thoughts on Panerai from Dubai? Well, what's going on, Dubai? I'm going to send you what I think about Panerai. I own a Panerai PAM 0111. Great watch. Unfortunately, Panerai has made a lot of mistakes recently. By the way, Adam has a link to the shop. With the fires, the riots, and COVID, we have had a delay of shipments coming into local USPS post offices. Fear not. We have 4 watches coming up on the site next week. We're like trying to keep the restocks as consistent as possible. But again, just like Chi-Town, California, and I think Lord Elgin said, we gotta just roll with the punches, guys. It is what it is. Let me get the Panerai episode to answer the question of what I think about Panerai, because it very concisely puts what I believe. Hold on. This is why I need moderators, because to find these things and to link them and to send them while I'm talking is also kind of difficult. Click that link. It's why I'll probably never buy another Panerai, if you want to learn how I feel about that. Did I see the Undone Batman? I just don't like themed watches, really. It's just not my thing, guys. Glycine Combat Sub or Tissot C-Star 1000? I don't know enough about either of those watches, unfortunately. I'm not going to recommend Glycine, though, because they're owned by Invicta. 561 Sport, no Compass, Alpinist. What do you mean? I own 2 Alpinists. What do you mean? I own 2 of them. My thoughts on brass watches? Well, brass and bronze was very popular about a year ago, 2 years ago. That was like flavor of the week. I think it's cool when it's with like nautical watches. I think it's very cool. But you know what watch I really like right now is the Flieger from Stoa. That Stoa bronze Flieger. Hold on. I think it's the Stoa Flieger Classic, right? I'm Googling it. The Flieger Bronze Vintage. That's what it is. This is a watch I would personally wear. I'm gonna link it right now. This is a watch I would absolutely wear. If someone wants to get me this watch and send it to my P.O. box, yeah, I really dig it. I would probably get the automatic movement as well. It's not a nautical watch. It's a fun take on an old school 40mm Flieger, so very reasonably sized, very legible case, no branding on the dial. I really dig that. I really dig that. Thoughts on Grand Seiko 9F GMT? Yeah, I think that's a great travel companion. Why not? GMT is the best complication when you're moving around. Jory, have you seen Invictas worn in public? Just curious. Yeah, of course, Manuel. I see them daily. I literally see Invictas daily. Invictas are very common. They sell a ton of watches. They do very well business-wise. They've duped people. Yeah, I see them all the time, dude. Of course. How's Princess Seiko? Great. Absolutely. She's amazing. You know who's also amazing? Is Linky Boy. It wouldn't be a live stream without saying hi to Linky Boy. Hi, Linky. Did you just eat breakfast? I think he just ate his breakfast. Everyone say hello to Linky. Everyone say hello. Every live stream we have to do a link session, or we link up with Linky. Did you just have breakfast? Link's purring. He's always purring. He just wants belly rubs. Oh, he sees something on my desk he wants to play with. Uh-oh, Link's going into naughty mode. Link's amazing. Lord Elgin says, Lord Elgin Certified T3 Bot says, now it's time for Link Up with Linky. Bjornar says, I've got a dog named Zelda. Pause up, Link. Yeah, that's why I named, that's how I named Link, is the hero of time. So it has to do with watches and my favorite video game series. Young Excellency says, Link has that I tolerate you because you feed me look. Warren Jones says, you need that as a section in your videos. A cheesy, it's Linky, Link of the Week. It's Linky's Link of the Week, yeah. Have I ever built or dabbled in watch modding? So 4:44 p.m. modded a watch for me. But I personally am not into it because there's people that do it much better than me. Jory, what do you think of Rolex Cellini Moon Phase? I think that's the only one I like. That's the only one that I think is tolerable. I think the rest are terrible. I hate the Cellini line. Wide Putin says, cats are better than dogs. I like both, but I have 2 cats right now. I grew up with having dogs, though. Any comments? NAJJ says, cats are better than dogs. JG says, hey, Linkster. Hi, Link. Oh, hi, Link. Seiko! What would you rather forget at home, COVID mask or a watch? If I don't have a watch, not to get political, and I don't want anybody insinuating anything about this. I would rather forget my mask because I'm used to, I've been on this planet for 31 years, okay? I'm very used to not wearing a mask. But when I don't wear a watch, it feels really weird. It's like driving without a seatbelt. You know that naked feeling where you feel kind of vulnerable? Like it's just second nature to kind of sit down and put your seatbelt on. It's just like normal. Linky agrees. But when I'm not wearing a watch and I'm outside, like I'm walking around, I feel that feeling. I'm like, oh, whoa. You know what happened is last week, I went on a run, and I was in such a hurry. Connie just got in, and I said hi to her, and I just finished filming. It was last Wednesday. I just finished filming an episode, and I had my members only live stream that I was going to do that evening. So I had a very set schedule, and I was like, oh man, I'm not going to be able to get my run in. So when I was getting ready, I just went on a run, and I went to go check my time, and I wasn't wearing my G-Shock. So that was the first time in years that I forgot to put a watch on. And so I was like, oh my God, I'm never gonna let my channel know about this. But I just did. I just told a few hundred people. My bad. Hey, come here, Linky. That's actually true. Ki2Ne, I don't know how to pronounce the name, but he says, I'd probably do the same since there's places all around me that offer masks if you don't have one. Yeah, most places like the grocery store that we go to and stuff, they'll give you a mask if you don't have one. I've seen them do that. So, but it's not like they're gonna give you a watch if you forgot your watch. So I'd probably rather forget my mask. Linky, don't be naughty, come here. Now he's trying to knock things over. I went on a jog without my reverso. Oh, how terrible. I can't even fathom a worse scenario. What do you think about an Omega Seamaster semester for 1,500? Is that a good deal? It depends on the Seamaster. Putin, do you know how many Seamasters they've made? Like, do you know how many they've made? Which one? What condition? Is it original? Who's selling it? What does it come with? Has it been serviced? All these questions. I can't do these assessments for you this way. Cast Irony, we need people offering us watches if we don't have one. An F91 for everyone. Reading comments. Greek watch collector says Rolex Air Dweller. I think you mean the Sky Dweller. I think you mixed the Air King with the Sky Dweller. I really do like the Sky Dweller. Everrose with slate. Everrose slate dial, best one they've come out with. Boom. Bada bing, bada boom. Do you think Seamasters with chronographs are gimmicks because you can't use them underwater? No. Sometimes you need a sports watch with a decent water resistance rating, not because you're using it underwater. Sometimes you're using it around water. Sometimes you're on boats. Sometimes you work around boats, or you go fishing, or things like that, and you need a sport watch that can handle water resistance. But yeah, Link knows what I'm talking about. And you can actually time things, because you can time something right before you dive, and you can see the time elapsing as you're underwater, and then that'll help you to know when you need to go up. Chris Vieira, new subscriber, great content. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Link wants my attention. Come here, bro. Come here, bro. I would like to see Endurolume on a mechanical watch. Very interesting. I would like that too. That'd be a really fun amalgamation of like tech and mechanics. Do you know what I mean? I think that would be very cool. And again, what Par Weber decides to do with that, they have it patented, I think. So I'd be interested to see what they choose to use that technology in on another model. So that would be really cool. What's an alternative to an Orient Bambino? Probably an entry-level Seiko or entry-level something like that. Jory, do you buy radium watches? I've owned a radium watch before. I'm not against them. The amount of radium in those watches, I don't think they're even radioactively, like, I don't think they're radioactive anymore. So I'm not worried about it. Ooh, Timex Marlin. You're right. That's a good alternative for a Bambino. And the price point is there as well. Would you recommend Pagani's? No. I asked you about Seiko Cocktail Time Old Clock. I don't know what you mean by old clock. Is that the name? You keep asking me that and I asked you to clarify. I don't know what that is. Every time I type in that reference number, it says the Manhattan. What is old clock? Every time I type that in, it says Seiko Presage Cocktail Time Manhattan. I don't know. You keep asking me and you say, what about this old clock? I don't get it. Link doesn't get it either. Yes, it's a good watch. Buy it. Really cool dial. I'm going by that reference number. If you're asking me if that's a good watch, yes. Beautiful, beautiful dial. Blue Manhattan. Texture, really interesting texturing. I like how they're using alternating indexes, some Arabics, Very cool. Now, old clock, I don't know what you mean by that. Linky, come here. Watch guy, where do you draw the line between patina and damage? That's subjective. I can't tell you because I don't have a watch in front of me to give you an example. You have to judge these things on a watch-to-watch basis. How can I tell you what the line is? How can I delineate that when there's no examples in front of us? I can't tell you, oh, when the dial has 25% coverage of a darker hue of brown, then it's okay, but if it's a little more than that, if it's 25.7% of a shade darker hue brown, then it's not patina, and then it moves into damage. No, we can't do that. You need to look at a dial-to-dial basis. Yeah, of course, if it's aesthetically pleasing, but watch, guy, do you understand how what you said doesn't make sense? You asked me, when is patina and not damage? And then you say, well, if it's aesthetically pleasing. So what you're saying is, when is something good and not bad? Well, when it's good and not bad. Do you see what I'm saying? So you've just proven my point. It's very subjective. There's no objective, like, delineation. It's thank you, Roar of the Tiger. It's all in the eye of the beholder. So it's like, when is something good and not bad? Well, the only answer can be when it's good and not bad. You guys crack me up. Getting more questions about the Rolexes coming out. I'm going to link you to videos that I've already made on the topic, so stand by. Un momento. Okay, you want to know about how I feel about the new Submariners? Bada bing, bada boom. Mohammed says, hello, I'm a big fan. Keep up the work. Thank you so much, man. Welcome to the channel. Jory, I'm about to go on a hike. Timex Expedition, Submariner 16610, or Orient Maestro. Timex Expedition, all the way. Has Expedition in the name. What are your thoughts on where Longines is heading? Yeah, I think they're heading in the right direction with their heritage collection, honestly. The bluesy, I really do like the Rolex bluesy, but when it gets too purpley on the dial, I'm not a big fan. I want it to stay blue. Link is jealous I'm not paying attention to him. That's absolutely true. Watch guy, just a question, didn't mean to trigger you. This is another thing I love. If you don't like my answer, don't accuse me of being triggered. Accuse yourself of not liking the answer. Why no one talk about Rado? Rado has a big market in Pakistan, believe it or not. I think that's like one of their main markets. In the US, they're not very common. So I think when you're listening to more Western watch reviewers or watch journalists, they probably don't talk about them much because we don't experience them much. Thoughts on vintage Zodiac? Really like vintage Zodiac. Really like vintage Zodiac. Max P, what it do? Specs and 200 meter Seiko diver. The branding. The branding. Jay Anderson, might be a weird question. What do you think about a mechanical watch that has a digital display? Hamilton's done this. A few companies have done this. Hamilton did it with the best success. I'm not into it, but yeah, I'm just not into it. But Hamilton likes doing things for movies and stuff, so yeah, check it out. Hamilton has an automatic watch with a display case back that has a that has a digital display. Land Dangerously says, do you pause and rewind movies to see what watch the actor has on? Sometimes. Typically what happens if Connie and I are watching something, she'll be like, what watch is that? And I'll be like, what? And she'll be like, what watch is he wearing? And then we'll rewind. So yeah, typically, like, if Connie sees one of the characters wearing a watch, she'll test me. Happens probably a few times a week. She'll be like, what is that? And then I'll have to be like, beep boop boop, beep boop, beep boop boop, beep boop, beep boop boop, beep boop boop. Hamilton, probably, because statistically the higher percentage answer would just be Hamilton, because Hamilton has just become an outsourced movie studio. So yep, Le Mans is going on. Noel says, Jory, the whole I wear my watch on my right hand all the time because I'm a lefty. William Rizzo, what's going on? Chill says, hi, Jory. What's going on, Chill? Scott, addicted to your videos a week ago. You're doing a great job. Love your attitude. Any advice on the Portuguese style watches? Oh, man. You know what? The Hamilton Jazzmaster Maestro. That's your best bet. Hamilton Jazzmaster Maestro is like an absolute homage of the Portuguese chronograph from IWC, but you're still getting a great watch. I definitely would consider it an homage, but I'll let it pass because Hamilton, if you want that specific style, you pretty much have to go with Hamilton. So, yeah. Hey, Jory, what are your thoughts on the Boulder Venture titanium bracelet? Do it. Do it. Why wouldn't you do it? If you're into wearing a bracelet for a field watch, go for it. I'm personally not super interested in that, but it's because I typically wear my field watches with Nato straps. Hey Jory, I'm looking for a mechanical chronograph with a unidirectional bezel and a display case back around $1,000. That is a tall order. That is a very, very tall order. First of all, you have to understand that mechanical chronographs under 1,000 are like, that's already tiny. It's a tiny group of watches to choose from. Then, to find one with a display case back and what else? Unidirectional bezel, that's even smaller. So no, I don't have a recommendation yet. You gotta wait. No, mate, around 1,000. That's what I'm saying. Around 1,000. Around 1,000, like, that's very difficult. That's very difficult. It's a very tall order. Mad Lion says, hey, big guy, just picked up an Omega PO Planet Ocean with the 8500, movement. Any thoughts? I'm a big fan, man. Planet Ocean, I think they're sick. Sporty, understated, easy to wear every day. Great buy. Great buy. Bull bars for beater watches? Yeah, I have a bull bar on my GX56BB chronograph. Actually, real quick, I typically don't give trolls the time of day. I just saw this comment right before Adam H deleted it. But Adam White, I'm going to shout out this guy Adam White. He said, am I depressed that my channel's tanking? Well, when I've been averaging about 1.2 million views a month, and every Monday I have a new company sponsoring the channel. Yeah, I cry myself to sleep on my bed of Rolexes. So, God bless Adam. Congratulations for getting mentioned. But just know that I'm doing better than you. Pretty much in every way of life. Haters always hate. Yep. It's all good. If you're going to try to spread negativity here, it's okay, but I understand that it's because you have very low self perception of significance. So God bless. I hope you find significance and happiness in life, but maybe if you felt what it was like to tank the way I am, boy, I bet you want to tank, huh? Gary Weisenberg, JD says, happy head of the year. Shana Tova. Dean, certified T3 bot says, the guy's mom sure likes him. Which is the best sport Rolex, GMT or Submariner? It depends. Do you travel a lot? If so, probably GMT. If you just want kind of a really good everyday, Submariner. Chi-Town, California, certified T3 bot says, Adam has beard and channel envy. Briar Blues, certified T3 bot says, I want a tank like you, Jory. I know. By the way, Briar Blues, please respond to the email I sent you. I sent you an email like 2 weeks ago with my P.O. box and what we need to do. Check, you know what? Check your junk folder as well. Kate, I know that this person's name probably has a way of pronouncing it utilizing the letters and the numbers, but I'm just going to spell it out because I don't want to mess it up. K-I-2-N-E. I'm sure it's a clever name. Sorry if this has been asked already, but how would you deal with people that say NATO straps and similar fabric watch bands cheapen a watch? I've had family made comments about that. Well, first of all, don't worry about what other people feel about your watches. You're the one wearing them, so who cares? Connie doesn't even like some of the watches I own. So don't worry about it. Actually, that's not true. All the watches I currently own, Connie really likes. But, for instance, the Formex that I had, Connie didn't like that watch, but I really liked it. But it's like, that's fine. So don't worry about what people think about your watches because you're the one wearing them. And for anybody that says a NATO strap cheapens a watch, I don't even know what that means. What do you mean by cheapen a watch? Tell them to focus on their own watch. Dasenaci Paisano. Dab. What do you think about Richard Mille? Don't get me started. Fruit roll-ups, Ben 10, terrible. Reading comments. Yeah, I wear my Reverso on a NATO strap because I don't care what anybody else thinks. Any good? Hi! If you spam the comment section, I will not respond. So, Jamil, keep asking about Laurier. Stop spamming it. Do you think G-Shock squares versus G-Shock circle G-Shocks, which one have more fun in collecting? I think you're asking which ones are more fun collecting, the square G-Shocks or the circular G-Shocks. I think that's subjective, man. I think you can have fun collecting. If you prefer the square G-Shocks, have fun. If you prefer collecting the more round case G-Shocks, have fun. I like both. So, but again, the mantra of this channel, different strokes for different folks. How about a GMT under $300? Oh gosh. I don't know. Have I ever lost a watch? Absolutely not. I hate Dan Henry watches. They're not good. Hey, would you think wearing a Seiko Snowflake for everyday use is great? Yeah, I believe the current Grand Seiko Snowflake does have a threaded crown, has a 100 meter water resistance rating, and a sapphire crystal. I think it's great everyday watch. Why isn't Rolex part of the Holy Trinity? Because the Holy Trinity they're kind of seen as a different level. Rolex, whether you like it or not, is predominantly a sports watch company. They built their business on building everyday use sports watches. Now, it just so happens they're quite expensive, but the Holy Trinity, they're seen as much more elegant, dressy, gentle watches. They're not seen as tough tool watches. So Rolex is not Holy Trinity because Rolex actually makes a large amount of watches every year, and they're predominantly tough tool watches. Do they have other more elegant watches? Yeah, of course. But whether you like it or not, the President, the Datejust, these were originally sport watches. Now, when they came out, things like with the Deep Sea and all the Sea Dwellers and the Daytonas, then of course people are like, well, those are much sportier. But yeah. But Rolex, when you look at what these companies produce, all you have to do is look at the products. The products are very different. I need a diver. I own a sub, but I'm scared to wear it. If you're scared to wear a watch, then you shouldn't own the watch. Period. If you're scared to own a watch that you own, you shouldn't own it. Period. Breguet above Holy Trinity. I think Breguet makes really nice watches, but they're just not Holy Trinity. And the stupid thing is that, like, Holy Trinity, it's not an actual thing, okay? It's just like a nickname that the watch world has agreed upon, okay? It doesn't mean they are the best watchmakers, because I don't think they are. I think that Vacheron is better than both of the other Holy Trinity watchmakers. I think JLC should be up there. And I think that, honestly, if I had my way, like, Cartier is amazing. Breguet is amazing. Glasuta is amazing. Laurent Ferrier is amazing. These are things that, sure, horology as a whole has not given, the nickname to these other companies, but it just so happens, okay, we've all agreed that Holy Trinity, bada bing, bada boom, AP, Vacheron, and Patek. Whatever. Restology, if you're going to roast me, then try to spell things correctly, you dullard. I'm scared of my wife finding my watches. My biggest regret in life will be when I die if Connie sells my watches for what I told her I spent on them. It's an old joke. Zodiac versus Yema. Well, I think both of the companies are trying things. They're both... Yema is doing some reissues, for sure. Zodiac now was smart, and they're doing some reissues, for sure. But, personally, I like more of what Yema's doing because they don't do loud colors and things like that. Zodiac is much more into these louder colors, and it's, it is what it is. I like Tudor more and more as time goes on. That's awesome. I'm not a big Tudor guy. It's, different strokes for different folks, again. Are Tudors still poor man's Rolex? I literally made an episode talking about how that wasn't the case. Let me see. It's a recent episode, actually. Let me find it. Oh my gosh, the title of the episode is Tudor is not the poor man's Rolex. Here we go. Noelle, this is for you. Thunder Clutch with the super chat. Thoughts on the Bulova Accutron? The 214 Space View. It's cool. It's techie. It's not for me personally, but I see why people like it. Honestly, I think the best Bulova right now are things from the Joseph Bulova collection and things from the Bulova Lunar Pilot, period. of your whole collection, Nick Hounstein, certified T3 bot, which of your watches would most remind your family of you someday in the future? That's a good question. Maybe the Reverso, because I made such a big deal about wanting one forever. Yeah, maybe the Reverso. In Amber Clad, with the super chat, says, how difficult is it to replace the battery on your Seiko Tuna? It's an SBBN 037 model I'm looking at. It's not terribly difficult. What you need to pay attention to is having it sealed properly, making sure that any caseback gasket is replaced. The biggest issue that most people have when they're replacing batteries on watches like the Tuna and like D-Shocks is they reuse the caseback seal, which is not what you're supposed to do. Even if it looks healthy and fine, chances are just within the process of unscrewing it and putting it back, it has been deformed. Okay, so what you need to do is make sure that if you're replacing it yourself or having someone replace it, make sure that they invest in getting a new caseback seal, a new gasket. Always replace it. Always, always, always. It's not that expensive. So, yeah. Targa says, yo, Jory, great channel as always. Thank you so much. Very cool name, by the way. I'm really loving the Chinese Seagull Venus movement. Incredible value. Yeah, absolutely. I absolutely love that. Absolutely love that watch. Sold one at the Time Teller shop, actually, recently. Have I considered buying a double chronograph? Do you mean a flyback? Black Bay Chrono versus Speedmaster? That's not even a question. Speedmaster. Ugh. Ugh. The 1963 vids early on were the ones that got me on this channel. Oh, well, congratulations. Welcome to the channel. I'm glad that my passion for a very controversial watch brought you here. Jory, are vintage Omega Genève still a good buy? It depends. It depends on the watch. I think so, but it depends on the watch, guys. It's hard for me to give you valuations on watches I'm not seeing. Because if I give you a blanket statement that says, like, the Omega Seamaster is a good buy, it's like, which one? Omega's made too many of them. Omega Genèves, Omega Constellations, they've made too many. So we need to see which one, like, which one? Tudor Black Bay has become a 4-letter word. Oh, man. The Black Bay 58 Blue is growing on me. Well, enjoy. Guys, again, I'm not going to hate you if you like the Tudor Black Bay. Just enjoy. If you have spring bars in a watch with no grips and no drilled lugs, do you have to cut them out? No, you pull the middle of it. You hold the middle of the spring bar and you pull it to one side. And typically that gives you enough space to take it off. Will you shave your beard when you reach 200,000 subs? Why? What does that have to do with... What is that? I'm not sure what that has to do with it. Spinnaker watches any good? Haven't taken a look at any Spinnaker. Not yet. Have I? No. Not yet. Not yet. Tenet. Very relevant name in the watch world because Hamilton has now made, you know, every new movie, Hamilton's making the watch for it. It says, anti-reflective flat crystal, simple domed plexi with distortions. I found myself disliking flat crystals. Domed adds so much character to the dial. I agree. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The more domed the crystal is, the more distortion. It's so fun to look at, so vintage. Taking pictures with domed crystals is that much more dynamic and fun. I'm a big fan. I love it. See, some people here have great taste. Will oil-filled watches just go away? Someday. 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 Is it possible one day we can get an Apple Watch review? I don't know if there's enough of a desire on this channel for that kind of review. I know there's a lot of specific tech channels that would probably speak about it better than I could. Especially because I'm not super interested in that period. So I'm not sure what I could bring to the table as far as assessing it, because it's not a watch. Like, it's something you wear on your wrist, but I don't know if I could consider it a watch. So I think the short answer is no. There are other channels that I think would do a much better job. And if I even were to review it, I think that people would accuse me of being biased anyway. Because I think that people know that I'm so against it that my prior statements would probably muddy up any assessment I did of an Apple Watch. Can you clean scratches off Sapphire like you do with an acrylic? No, you can't. Sapphire is just too hard, literally. Oh, great question. Can you, okay. Wait, who asked it? Roni, what is the watch you're hunting for next? I want the Zin 3006 hunting watch. It's actually very funny that you mentioned hunting, because I want the Zin 3006. That's the one I want. Zin 3006 hunting. Unfortunately, it's quite expensive, but it is such a cool chronograph. Keep the super chats coming, guys. Bring me to that Zin fund. I want it so bad. Apple sponsorship inbound. Thank you. Yeah, let's make it happen. Please. Get me an Apple Watch. No, I want the Zin 3006. With that olive drab dial, it is so cool. Yeah. Mustafa says, hello from Turkey, T3, love your videos. What do you think about Loris and Pulsar? Pulsar is a sub-company, subsidiary of Seiko, Epson Corporation. I don't know much about them personally, though, unfortunately. I've never owned one. But got love for Turkey. What's going on? Zin makes a hell of a tool watch. They truly do. And guys, I'm going to tell you something. I'm actually going through a little bit of a chronograph phase. So, we will see. If I can find one for the right price, then I'll probably pick up a Zin 3006. I'm just... It's so badass. Bryson, the 1016 is definitely one that I would like to own, but I'm going through a chronograph phase, man. Something about that Zin is just so cool. Yeah. How extensive is your watch strap collection? Too extensive. Too extensive. Brigade Type 20 is I mean, come on, that's a classic chronograph. Who doesn't like that? Nick Housey, at what point does it make more sense to pay for therapy for watch addiction versus paying for the next watch? Asking for a friend. I haven't figured it out yet. If we can somehow figure that out. If you guys figure it out, let me know. Because clearly, I'm an enabler. The Zin UTC with the black PVD coating is also really, 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 really cool. You've got the need for speed. I do. I don't know, but that Zin, the Zin 3006 has a threaded crown and a 200 meter water resistance rating. So that's literally something that you can wear and not have to take off. So I'm a big, big fan. Shannon from Singapore. Axios, Dalios, and Constellar. We might have some more reviews there. The Zin 3006 is beautiful, but it's a little thick. Yeah, it's a bigger watch, but I'm in love with it. So we'll see. But guys, we've been here for about 90 minutes, especially when we factor in the earlier live stream that got sabotaged. So guys, thank you so much. You could have been anywhere this Saturday or Sunday or whenever you're watching this, because I know another few thousand people will watch the replay of this. So you could have been anywhere to watch this live stream, but you chose to spend the time with me, and I really do appreciate that. I don't take it for granted. This is honestly the part of my week that I look forward to every day, because this is my way of interacting with the people that I love, truly. Thank you so much. So you guys rock, and it's the supporters vastly outweigh the haters. And what's funny is that with everyone here that is interacting with me and sending me questions and sharing your time with me, we're building each other up, and we're talking to each other, and we're asking questions, and we're having fun. And the few people that are so miserable, we can't get angry, and we can't get sad, and we can't let it frustrate us. We should probably pity them, though, because think about it. We're here having fun, questions, we're interacting with each other, and this is how they're choosing to spend their time. It's pitiful, and it's a bummer, and it's unfortunate. So for them, not to get all religious, but it is a new year in the Jewish religion. I pray that they find happiness this year, and I pray that they find some significance, and I pray that they find something in their life that helps them become happier and more fulfilled. So let's all think of them. Let's all help them out a little bit, and maybe they can get better this year forward. But it is all good. And a round of applause, Lord Elgin with the super chat. Thanks to Adam H and Bryson. We can't do this without our moderators. So guys, please, big round of applause in the comment section for the moderators. They were working overtime today, so thank you. Another big round of applause for my certified T3 bots. We can't do this without them, because literally 6 pieces of content a week. Man, yeah, we need them. So guys, thank you, certified T3 bots. You freaking rock. And thank you to you, because what is content? What is a channel without viewers? And just an extra piece of information for the haters. We get about 1.2 million views every month. So thank you to you guys, everyone watching. LT with the super chat, thank you so much. You guys freaking rock. What do I tell you? Get out of your comfort zone. Doing this, live streaming to a few hundred people every week, a few thousand watch this every week. It's uncomfortable. It started off uncomfortable. Now it's kind of second nature. I look forward to it all the time. But yeah, you got to get out of your comfort zone, because losers that have no fulfillment in their life come and they say stupid stuff. But it's worth it. It pays off. Literally, it pays off. It's so transpose that into your life. Please get out of your comfort zone. It'll pay off. That's number one. Number two, tell someone you love them, and I'll start it off. I love each and every one of you. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today. I do not take it for granted. And Happy New Year! Shana Tova to all you guys. You freaking rock. Restock at the Time Teller shop this week. We're going back to normal scheduling, and I will see you on Monday. All right, guys. Take care. I'm Jory Goodman, the Time Teller. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay blessed. I didn't invent time. I just tell it. Dad.